What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fish Aquatics. So you guys just got your first aquarium, whether it was gifted to you, dollar per gallon sale, you went out and bought a starter kit, doesn't matter, you were looking for a video on how to set it up the right way and do things properly, and this is that video for you. There's going to be a lot of information in this video, lots of links to other videos that are going to give you lots of good information. So basically what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how I set up my aquariums the right way, to make sure that they're healthy and established properly, and I can keep a good, healthy aquarium. So the first thing we want to look at is preparing for your tank and choosing your aquarium size if you haven't done so already. I'll leave links for both of those videos up here so you guys can go check those out if you want to. It's basically trying to figure out where you're going to put your tank, what you need, as well as what size aquarium you want to get, as well as what fish you want to keep. So very good informational videos for you guys there. If you've already gone past that point and already purchased your first aquarium, that's fine. I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. And the one I'm going to be setting up today is a 5.5 gallon, so not a huge aquarium, and probably one that most people start out with is going to be a 5.5 or a 10 gallon. It's relatively small, gets you into the hobby, and gets you keeping fish. So I'm going to show you guys how to set this thing up and walk you through the process. So the very first thing when you get your aquarium, there's a couple basic things that you're going to want to make sure you have, and that is your tank, your lid, filtration, and a heater. Those are the very basic, bare minimum things you're going to need to keep fish. So the things that we're going to be working with today is I have my tank, I have a lid. This tank did come with a lid, but I made a different one because I'm running a different light system, but the factory lid that comes with it works fine. Filtration, this one came with this hang-on back filter, which hang-on back filters are perfectly fine, but in my fish room I only run air, so I have a little sponge filter that's been pre-seeded from another aquarium, so I'm going to be able to set this aquarium up and run it right away, as opposed to having to follow the nitrogen cycle to get this established. If you're not sure what the nitrogen cycle is, link right here for you. So hang-on back filters are fine, but I would highly recommend watching this video right here on how to set these guys up and modify them with use of sponge, getting rid of the cartridge system and replacing it with sponge, with the addition of adding a pre-filter sponge onto the pickup tube of the filter. So good video there if you want to check that out. The next thing is going to be your heater. Now, there isn't a heater out there that I would recommend that is the #1 heater to purchase, because in my opinion all heaters are pretty much trash. They're all going to fail within 5 minutes to 5 years of you putting them in. You really don't know when. So any heater you can afford to replace within a year is going to be reasonable. This particular tank came with this. This is a non-adjustable preset heater that keeps your tank around 78 degrees. And for this size tank, as well as like 10 gallon, 20 gallon, these are probably going to be fine for you, but you can always upgrade to a different adjustable heater if that's your preference. But for this aquarium, this is what I'm going to use. So now that you have those things, you've got your tank, you've got your heater, you've got your filter, and you've got your lid, the next thing you want to consider is, do you want a background on your aquarium? For this particular aquarium, you can see I have a black background on here, and I put that on with Plastidip. Plastidip is a can of rubberized paint that you can spray onto the back of your aquarium, and if you ever choose that you don't like it, you can just simply peel it off. It's very easy to use, and if you guys want to see a video on this, link right there. Very easy product to use. Personally, I love it. So you got your background on there. The next thing you want to consider is your substrate, and if you watch the other videos on preparing for your aquarium, you'll know that there are basically two kinds that I like to use. That's black diamond blasting sand and pool filter sand. Basically, if you've got dark fish, I like the lighter pool filter sand. If you've got bright colored fish, I like the darker sand because you get good contrast. So in this particular tank, black background, I'm going to use black substrate because I'm going to have lighter colored fish. So I'm going to be using black diamond blasting sand. If you've never heard of black diamond blasting sand, it is a sand blasting sand that you can be found at Tractor Supply. Link right there. So I have that all set up and ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that sand, we're going to get it into the tank. We're going to put our filter into the aquarium. We are going to add decor decorations, which in this case for me is going to be stone and plants, and more or less that's going to be it. So I'm going to show you guys me setting this up and explain it to you as we're going through, and that'll be the video. It's very simple to get into this hobby, and after we get everything set up, I'm going to talk to you guys about cycling your aquarium, whether or not you have fish already or you plan on doing a fishless cycle and getting fish later. So let's get to setting this tank up, and we'll get to that after the video. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we want to get our tank set up on an appropriate stand. This is where I'm going to put mine, and then we can remove our lid, and we're going to add our substrate. So I'm going to go ahead and get the black substrate. We're going to scoop some in there until I think it's a good amount. Alright, that's probably pretty good. Yep, that looks pretty good to me. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in our decor and our stone and plants, which I already have set up. I did that in another video. So if you guys want to see that, I'll leave a link for that up here as well. So this is a piece of stone with a bunch of Anubias attached to it. So we're going to take that and we are going to set it into the aquarium like so. So after that, the next thing I'm going to put in is I'm going to put in our filtration, which currently is right here. So like I said before, all my filtration is air driven. So a simple hookup like this is all it needs. Alright, that looks pretty good for what I want. Now, the last thing that we're going to need is our heater. So I like to put my heater somewhere around where the filter is. So I'll attach that right there. And I like to put them around where the filter is because it's going to allow more water movement across that filter, or across the heater rather, and allow it to distribute the heat a lot more evenly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this lid back on. And we're going to go get some water and fill it up real quick. Alright guys, so now that the tank is set and filled with water, the next thing we want to do, and I probably didn't mention it before, is having a thermometer to monitor our temperatures. You can either have one like this that floats, you can have one like this that sticks to the side of the aquarium inside, or you can use a infrared temperature gun to scan the aquarium, either the glass on front or the actual water itself, to get a good temperature reading. But I'm just going to use this one right now to make sure I have the appropriate temperature of water, because like I said, I'm using pre-filtered media on my sponge for my filter. So I am going to be able to add fish right away to this, and I'm just going to have to monitor the aquarium for any spikes in ammonia or nitrite, like I talked about in the nitrogen cycle video that I posted earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and let that sit for a little bit, get the temperature acclimation, and I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on my sponge filter, and we'll let that start going as well. So we'll go ahead and let that sit, and we'll come back. Alright guys, so we've let the tank sit and run for about 20 minutes now. We've got the water moving around. One thing you're going to notice is you're going to have bubbles all over the glass, and what that's from is the difference in temperature between the air temperature and the water temperature. The difference is causing the water to release extra oxygen that it's holding onto, and you're going to see that with the result of bubbles all over the glass, as well as your filter, your plants, and things like that. Just extra oxygen, and that's just a little extra information. So the next thing I want to let you guys know about is going to be fishless or fish-in cycling. Preferably, I would rather people do fishless cycling, which I'll leave a link for a video for that right here. And basically you would cycle your aquarium with the use of ammonia, to build your beneficial bacteria colonies before you get fish. But most people, unfortunately, get the fish at the same time they get their aquarium. So if that did happen and you happen to be part of that group of people that did, I have a video for fish in cycling here as well. I'll leave a link above, and you guys can follow that to safely, well, as safe as you can, do a fish in cycle. It's relatively easy. Just follow some simple steps and your fish should be okay, given the circumstance. But for this particular aquarium, like I said, I used pre-seeded filter media that's already been running for about 6 months in another tank. So it's perfectly established for this aquarium. And I actually have a betta sitting right here on this shelf that's been acclimating in tank water. It's the same temperature and everything as my normal aquarium water. So I'm going to go ahead and add him into the tank and give him his new home. So he is right here. Let's see if I can give you guys a decent view of him. There he is. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add him in here. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, as always, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I answer every single comment that you guys ask. Any questions, anything like that, I always get back to you. I try to be as quick as possible. But any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the comments down below. I'm going to go ahead and clean this glass up a little bit, get the bubbles off of it, shoot a little bit of B-roll for you guys, and that's going to be the video. So, as always, thank you guys for watching Trapfish Aquatics. Links for medication, foods, filtration, anything like that, always in the description down below. And I will see you guys in the next video.